did the live stream? Perfect. I should be live now. I will keep. Oh, I will keep an eye on my phone also. Um, Give me a moment. I will also do a quick post on X that we are live, so all people interested can be tuning in that way. Let's go to the live stream here. Boom. I see everything is working now, so that is of course absolutely amazing. Paste. Boom. And I hope all of you guys are doing amazing. I will check the chat in a few minutes. Just give me a second here so I can do this quick post. FNA. Boom. Perfect. Okay. Welcome back everybody. So nice to see all of you guys again. Give me a moment to open the chat on my phone so I can tune into all the people watching now. Since I have somewhat of a different setup, most people do know maybe that I'm traveling a little bit now, so it's hard for me. Someone's asking for some altcoin updates in the chat. We will do so a little bit later. This live stream is mostly just for, I have not been live streaming that much this week. Also, of course, we have the US government shutdown, so I can't be live streaming any of the US economic data, because normally we would have seen economic data coming out today, but actually since we're now in a US government shutdown, we are not seeing any US economic data coming out now. So that, I don't know, puts us in quite an interesting position now, where the market has of course been performing amazingly. Bitcoin absolutely exploding here to the top side, breaking the most important resistance. But yeah, it's somewhat of a weird situation here. And normally I'm always live streaming the economic data, so now I can do a little bit less of that. But I do want to give my thoughts about the market. I do want to answer some questions in the chat. Also, I just uploaded my daily update video, so if you did not watch that one yet, make sure to check it out. I think it's a nice one. I see a lot of similarities playing out for Bitcoin once again here, so I do think it's packed with good information. Make sure to check that one out. And now I do want to give my quick outlook on the market before I dive into some questions and stuff. I also just want to give an update on my trading position, because I do know some people are following me with my position, or are basically making decisions based on the position on other altcoin pairs, stuff like that. So I do think it's fair to just keep you guys up to date and stay live streaming a lot on the channel, because I enjoy it and I do know that most of y'all enjoy it too. I'm thinking this is the stage where we don't see big or long pullbacks. Any tips on entries? I personally also think that this is going to be in a very bullish stage, where we should not be looking into that much pullbacks. Of course, there will be pullbacks along the way, but like I discussed in this morning's update video with this fractal here, basically playing out like we saw in 2020, not only a very similar fractal, but also based on the bull market support band. I'm seeing a lot of similarities here with this 2020 fractal, also in September and October. I'm not saying it will be playing out exactly the same, but what I am saying is I don't think this time Bitcoin is just going to make a simple new all-time high. I truly think we are going to see like a bigger move higher with a conservative target of, let's say, 135 to 140k, but ultimately Bitcoin could be able to shoot even higher. What I also do think is that we should be a little bit cautious in this phase. Definitely once Bitcoin is going to initiate that big move, not just a new all-time high, then I'm going to stay bullish, but like a big move after that, that is where I will get a little bit cautious on Bitcoin. And of course, depending on the price action of Ethereum on altcoins, I will be making some other decisions there, but let's see how that will be playing out. My tips for entries here would be, I think it's still a great moment to accumulate. Of course, there were better moments in this move lower. Like I also was stating with my Ethereum trade, this buy the dip zone was of course the best opportunity, but the reality is that most people don't want to buy at the lows here when it's very scary and there's a lot of fear in the market. But ultimately I do think Ethereum, for example, is still a nice entry, and most altcoins are so too. But you should keep in mind that a little bit of a pullback is possible before heading higher. If you're fine with that, I do think you can still catch up most of the move here. So I do think you can still find some nice entries on certain altcoins. Ethereum here could also be a great buy, but I would advise in the next 2 weeks, because I think, of course, in no way I'm a financial advisor, but my advice would be that, or it's not advice, it's just my opinion. It would be that Bitcoin is probably going to attract more liquidity in the ending stage here. Ethereum and altcoins, I'm still expecting them to lag a little bit over the next 2 to 3 weeks. I would say so. And after that, I think that's where we are going to see the biggest moves for Ethereum and altcoins. So looking at it like that, you still have like a lot of time, or not a lot of time, but definitely a big opportunities to make more entries, accumulate some on spot. It depends. Are you accumulating on spot? Entries, stuff like that. So yeah. How high can Ethereum go? To be honest, can't reach 10k this top. I don't think. Is it too early for questions? No, just shoot away. But it depends little bit on the question. If you are going to ask me to do TA on like a very specific altcoin, I'm not going to do it now, because I just want to give an update. We have other live streams for that too. But if it's just a general question about the crypto market, yeah, shoot ahead. That's what I'm here for. How high can Ethereum go? To be honest, can it reach 10k this top? 10k, in my opinion, seems unlikely. A lot of people do know this, but actually, on this channel we have been perfectly predicting the Ethereum move this cycle, the big move we've seen this year. Of course, also the big dump, the Terra flow, and since then we have been drawing out this accumulation phase and this reaccumulation phase for Bitcoin. This wave higher for Bitcoin, we've touched all the Fibonacci levels perfectly. We always saw major resistance or big support. Ultimately, we did break my conservative case, where I took a lot of profits on my spot holdings. And now this is of course somewhat of an older chart, but now we are seeing also a retest of that conservative case target. We flipped the resistance into big support, and now we are seeing a push again from off that level, which is in my opinion like a crazy bullish setup. I will zoom in a little bit on the Ethereum chart here. Let me open a new one, because it's actually insane how the chart's looking like now. That's of course why I'm also in my Ethereum position, which I will update about in just a moment. But here I also have this chart open, which is also an interesting one. But what I want to show, let me pick another one then. But this one, for example, or how are you guys doing, by the way? How have you guys been enjoying the market pump from this week? Because I feel like there's still not a lot of hype yet. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like maybe a lot of people are sidelined, because it was quite, for me not, but for a lot of people it was a very unexpected pump. Yeah, look at this. I would just do logarithmic, and then that major. First of all, resistance level, now perfectly bounce into support, and just look at the monthly candles. It's insane, like a perfect wick in this major demand zone. So that was our first clear indication that there was a lot of demand here for ETH once again, and now a monthly bounce on the resistance. Yeah, it's amazing. Actually, one of the highest monthly closes, or not. If you would close like that, it would be one of the highest monthly close for ETH ever. So yeah, interesting. But of course, we still have the full month to go. But that shows you the strength of the current monthly candle. And yeah, I think this is an insane setup. And I'm definitely expecting a move. But coming back to your question, 10k, I do think it's a little bit unrealistic. Looking at the Fibonacci retracement levels, which have for me been very accurate this cycle, I do think our bull case is going to be 6.3k. And that is also what I'm targeting as my top profit target for my Ethereum trade. Aren't you zoomed? Hey guys, is it too early? Aren't you zoomed in on live price action? It's about to dump, I think. I'm not on the very short-term charts now, because I also was still basically doing my update and just sharing my thoughts. But I will open the 5-minute chart also to take a look. 5 minutes. Well, it's not dumping. It's actually not doing a lot. Bitcoin here, still holding above 120k, which is looking very good, very nice. It goes to 7 to 8.5k in my opinion. I think it's possible, but I don't know if it's realistic for me. And yeah, Of course, I hope so. But for example, if we could be hitting my top target, which is 6.3k, I will make a nice profit, and I don't even care that much about Ethereum moving higher. But could be. My altcoins are dead. It's boring. Yeah, maybe that's the case. A lot of altcoins are not performing yet. Maybe a lot of people are, of course, not trading or holding a lot of Bitcoin. Do you think that the shutdown will delay ETFs again? Actually, I don't know how that will work. I also don't know what the deadline is for the new ETFs, but it's an interesting question. Maybe. Um, because yeah, of course I think the SEC is of course also a U.S. institution, so U.S. government institution. So I think they're also not receiving any funding now. So interesting. I don't know. Maybe they will stay working behind the scenes. You of course never know, but it's interesting. Maybe it will get delayed again, but actually it has been getting delayed for like the last few months. It's insane. Floki just ETP. Okay, nice. Gala, like stated, guys, I'm not. You're also spamming once again. I'm going to mute you because I think that's very annoying. Please just don't spam in the chat. It's so annoying. I love your historical comparison charts, so great job so far. Thank you so much. I'm curious about transition into October to November from Bitcoin and Ethereum stage to the wider altcoin stage. Do you think that when we see Bitcoin and Ethereum dip, we will see the other altcoins dip too, or does altcoins start to rise as Bitcoin and Ethereum dips? Um, yeah, if you're talking about the transition phase, at some moment altcoins will stay moving higher, but it won't go simultaneously with Bitcoin and Ethereum dumping. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum will probably in that phase consolidate, and altcoins will stay outperforming there. Same as Ethereum start to outperform Bitcoin, Bitcoin will consolidate. Probably we will create somewhat of a range for Bitcoin, close to the all-time highs. We make the cycle. We will create somewhat of a range. Bitcoin is going to consolidate there. Then Ethereum finds some room to move higher. Then Ethereum is going to consolidate, and Bitcoin will also stay consolidating, maybe dropping ever so slightly, but Ethereum will also start to consolidate then, and then altcoins will outperform. So yeah, that's what I personally think. Because I do think if you're truly going to see a dip for Bitcoin or ETH, eventually you're going to see your altcoins dump. It's inevitable. I don't think Bitcoin can dump like crazy and altcoins can stay outperforming. I don't think that's how it works. Maybe for a very short time window, for like 2 to 3 weeks, but longer than that, I don't think that's very realistic. Ethereum in the previous cycles stays above 5 months in all-time high before it crashes. It was in the previous cycle top. What do you think about the top and stays on top from time perspective? 5 months. What do I think about the timing? I don't know. I feel like it could be a little bit more short-lived if Ethereum is going to move that high, but it's going to depend on so much different factors, like the treasury companies, all of the inflows we are going to see. It depends on a lot of stuff. I do think it will be very hard to time, and that is why you should just be taking profits on the way up there to that stage, and I would not be trying to exactly time the amount of weeks, months we are known. Okay, yeah, let's see. Let's see. Or do you think we will move to the upside or to the downside in that case? Because both perspectives are possible then, stating it like that. Um, Good morning from Iceland. Feels good to be living in October. Good morning once again, Gisli. Nice to have you back. Nice to have you back once again. Feels good to be living in October. Yeah, it feels amazing, I must say. Good morning from Iceland. Oh, that's nice. Do you live in Iceland? I would love to visit one day. Food delivery also. Because I ordered them to come in like an hour, but now they are close to the door. So, okay, doesn't matter. I will just keep you. Maybe I'm just away for a few minutes in about 5 here, but let's see. Um, let's dive back into. Was hoping to add even more to my Ethereum trade this buy the dip zone, which we have been drawing out on the channel, of course. But now I'm in this 17.2k position. Unfortunately, my limit order of 3.8k did just not get filled. Like we were so close, but because in that case I would have been a few k in the profit, I think, if I'm correct. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm now in the profit, so I'm thankful. And I think we have been perfectly predicting this dip for Ethereum and also the bounce back up. So super excited about that. But like I said, I think this is just the beginning. Ethereum is now back in the range. It's looking super bullish. I do think the seasonality is lining up. Of course, we could see some short-term pullbacks, so keep that in mind. But ultimately, I do think we are now in a very nice position. So also, congratulations for the people that did take this trade with me. If you do want to be trading yourself, this Ethereum trade or a lot of other altcoin pairs here on LBANK, make sure to check out that link here in the description under this live stream. You can find the link there. If you're going to click on it, you will get redirected to exactly this page, and there you can claim your 50% deposit bonus, and it will be lasting for only 2 days from here. So if you haven't claimed it yet, make sure to do it now, because in 2 days you won't be able to claim this anymore. If you don't want to claim it, just don't do it. But if you do want to claim that bonus, start training yourself and also supporting the channel, yeah, make sure to check out the link and sign up now, because we only have 2 days left there. But yeah, super excited about my trade. I will just keep you guys up to date in also the next update videos, and I think this is going to stay performing quite good here. This Ethereum level which we are reclaiming now is making me super excited, because we are basically reclaiming okay, I just have to go downstairs to grab my food. I'm so sorry, guys. I will be back in a minute. Okay, it should be working now once again. Okay, let's discuss them. I was talking about this Bitcoin resistance here, of course. Breaking this crucial level, looking absolutely amazing. Double bottom formation, weekly breakout here. A lot of bullish weeks upcoming also here. If you look at the weekly returns, so many bullish weeks upcoming for Bitcoin here. We are now in the 39th week, 40th, 41th. All of these coming weeks are looking very bullish for the Bitcoin price action. Monthly returns, of course, EMDTO. Let me check. Bitcoin bull flag breakout, bouncing of the both horizontal support and the support of the ascending channel here, which is of course looking amazing, and exactly this pattern playing out like we've seen in all the post-halving years. In September, Bitcoin tends to retest the 21 moving average trend line before it eventually heads higher in Q4. So of course, that is looking very promising, and I'm quite excited about that. Then about the CME gap, because I do see a lot of people in the comments also, but also in general on X, I do see a lot of people talk about the CME gap, and I personally do think that the CME gap is likely to get filled, of course, because most do. But because of the significance of this Bitcoin move, I would find it very weird if Bitcoin is just going to... Yeah, and I was talking about this ETH level, because comparing ETH now with the consolidation zone from here May to July, here we also saw the break